Gracie was our first Cavalier, and I bought her because my daughter, when she was small, said, could we please get a dog that doesn't bite me? And so we bought a breeding book of dogs, and we thumbed through it, and we came across the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And we read about them and read how kind they were and sweet. They're not aggressive, they're not watchdogs by any means. And we did some research about breeders in our area, and the one that we chose was the Cochran's Cavalier.
This is Riley, and we got Riley shortly after Gracie passed away. It was very traumatic losing Gracie, and so we went on the website of Cochran's Cavaliers, and there was a tricolored little Cavalier, and we named her Riley because she was very calm and quiet. But then when she woke up, she was all riled up, and thus the name Riley. And we named her Riley Grace in honor of Gracie. And she pretty much stays sometimes riled and sometimes a very heavy snorer. And she's known for her snorting, which awakens us to tell us in the morning that she's ready to go out.
Ripley was a Christmas present. We opened a box for Christmas and had no idea what was in it, and there was a picture of a puppy, and the puppy was a Blenheim Cavalier, and my daughter and I immediately started crying because we were so excited to finally get a little Blenheim Cavalier. Of course, it was a male Cavalier, and we'd always wanted females, but Ms. Cochran said, no, give the males a try, because they're not just lovable and love you, they're in love with you. And she was right. Ripley is the most lovingest little dog we have ever had.
My mom has a Cavalier. She is 1 year old as of yesterday. Her name is Sophie Ann, but we call her Sophie. She's a brown and black Cavalier, and she's really tiny, maybe only like 8 pounds, because she was to run a litter. We got her in Wilmington, North Carolina. Sophie's pretty much the perfect dog. If you want to play with her, she gets really excited and plays, and she'll bark nonstop while you're playing with her. If you're throwing the ball with her and you just stop for a second, she'll get on her hind legs and get real low to the ground and start barking at you and running around. But then she's also very, very much of a lap dog. You can just sit her on your stomach while you're watching TV, and she'll just fall asleep there, not want to get up or anything. She just likes to be around people. And so she's pretty much the best of both worlds. She's calm when she needs to be, and she's fun when she needs to be. She follows my mom around a lot because they are inseparable. And my mom stays at home a lot, so that's kind of like her baby. So, and we got her when she was young, so I think there's probably like some separation anxiety there, because she doesn't like to be far from my mom at all. And so she's a really really good dog.
I think what's interesting about Polly is that, so we got her, I guess, I'm trying to remember whatever year that was, 13 years ago, so 2003. After we got her, we had 3 or 4 friends of ours who also decided upon this breed and went to the Cochrans, in fact, to purchase Cavalier King Charles Spaniels because they fell in love with this one. So I know at least 3 or 4 families, and I think one of them bought 2 dogs from the Cochrans. So several dogs came to this community, to Anderson, after they met Polly and fell in love with her. You're just so sweet. Yes, you just love everybody.
These dogs do require a lot of grooming. We're fortunate to have someone that comes to the home to groom both of them.
But the good news is they don't have to be groomed very often, and they don't have to be groomed at all. It's just that they look a lot better. And in the summertime, Riley gets hot easily and pants a lot. And if she's trimmed, she doesn't pant as much because she's not as hot. Her fur is so thick, She loves cold weather. She's very happy when it's cold outside.
For me, I'm actually more inclined to the bigger dogs, but I have kind of become attached to the Cavalier. It's a great family dog.
I don't imagine myself actually with any other breed, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to replace Polly. With her being 13, you know, I know the end of her life is coming soon, and you know, she's struggling more and more to move around, and her mobility has really declined with bad arthritis in her hips and hind legs. But you know, I know my husband has said, okay, are we going to get another one when she's gone? And you know, they have a special place in your heart. I can't determine yet if I will want another dog or if I just will only want to remember Polly and just leave it at that. But if we do get another pet, I would definitely want to get a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel again. That breed has just endeared itself to us.
If it was up to me, yes.
A friend of mine had just gotten a Cavalier, and she'd been trying to talk me into one, and I said, I just couldn't yet. I wasn't quite ready. But then she came over and she said, I have something for you to look at on the computer. And I said, why do I think it's a Cavalier? And she said, oh, come on, I want to know something very interesting I think you'll like. Well, it was a picture of the Cavalier we got, 2002. And as soon as I saw her, I wanted her. Sadie was named by my husband. He had a dog named Sadie. He wanted that name, and I said I didn't care what her name was as long as we got her. And she was tricolor, which I like tricolors. I like the Blenheims. It didn't matter, but she was beautiful. And we liked the fact that her size would be, you know, around 10, 12, 14 pounds. That was a good size for us to have an indoor dog. And I wanted a dog that would be company, and so did Al. And we both had dogs separately as children or in younger times in our lives, and to have this one as ours was really special. And we, as soon as we got her, of course, fell in love with her, and she became not only a pet but like a child to us. Our anniversary was in 2014, November, and I did this in August for my husband. Sadie died of mitral valve insufficiency. She was 8 years old when she was diagnosed having a heart murmur. And at that time, we had an echocardiogram, and they did not think she would make it a year. Well, she would have been 9 if she had died following that. However, she made it till age 12, so we felt like she was really determined to live, and we were determined for her to live and give her the best life possible. And she did. She did really well until like the last week of her life. But she was on medication, and fortunately, you know, it wasn't that much. She didn't have other major health issues. But that was enough to cause her to have weakness toward the last 2 or 3 years and a lot of panting, breathing rapidly. But we kept that under control like you would an adult with heart failure if you keep her from going into congestive heart failure. But their age span usually is anywhere from 10 to 14 years, and we felt very happy that she made it to 12. But anyway, this was the best I could do. I tried to copy a picture that we had of her, and it means a lot to us.